Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the UK Northern Powerhouse on Transport Fever 2. This will be episode number 68 in the series, and in this episode we're going to be going up towards Altrincham. Although Altrincham isn't actually on the map, but what I want to do is finish the north with the Mid Cheshire line, and also I want to do something around the Manchester Metro trams as well, because I've got a couple of trams, well, a handful of trams running around Manchester out towards what is Media City and a few other places, but they are just, I think, the vanilla ones. But what I wanted to do was introduce the modded ones, the M5000 Flexity trams that CW315 created. Now I wasn't going to do that because they are classed as kind of trains, I guess you'd say, in the context of Transport Fever, and obviously getting in towards, where are we? We're over here, Manchester City Centre. It's just going to be too difficult to start introducing railway tracks and things like that, but I've come up with a bit of a compromise which I think should allow me to use the M5000s and kind of retain the limited metro network that we have in the city, because all it's doing really is acting as a shuttle for Manchester. So I've got a line running up towards Manchester Victoria, which goes to Manchester Piccadilly, and I've got a Manchester, what have I got? An Ashton to Media City, which is over here, and I've got an Ashton to Manchester Airport, which is down here. Now Manchester Airport has been rebuilt since the last episode, just to get the position a bit more accurate and just to get this line here. So this is part of the Mid Cheshire line, this is the line into Stockport. This was a bit out of shape and it didn't look quite right, so I've readjusted that line, rebuilt Manchester Airport and Manchester Airport Station as well, and there will be a time-lapse video of that going out sometime soon. What I've done is I've done what I did previously, which had the metro kind of coming in on a road with bus only, with a bus lane in order to stop vehicles coming in. It's a bit of a fudge really, it's not really ideal. So I think what I'm going to do is, what I want to do to begin with is find out where actually Altrincham is in respect to Manchester Airport and the roads, because what I've done also is I've built a bit of the M56 as well, which comes all, actually I think it's all of the M56 actually, because it comes all the way from Chester over here. It's only using a dual carriageway modded road, but it still represents the M56. Not that it's getting used very much. It probably could have just been a normal road because the speed's still only 60, even though it's dual carriageway with a median. But what I want to do is build Altrincham Station, which is around here somewhere. So referring to the open rail map, just going to have a quick look. Okie dokie, so it is around here, but I've got, yeah, that's right. So it is around, yes, it's about here, I'd say. So what we need is, first of all, we need a station building. We're going to use, I guess I'll use the NL, 4 platforms, 160 should be more than long enough. Now it doesn't actually need to be anything, it's just literally, where's, actually need to find out first of all. So coming from, yeah, so it wants to be about here-ish. Yeah, that's supposed to be the M6 interchange, the limb interchange, but obviously it's not really that accurate, but might have to rebuild that. But anyway, for now, just want to get that in place. Well, that's a little bit close to that there, that's the new problem. That's the Warrington Central to Manchester route, isn't it? Yeah, could probably do, I think we need to relocate this section of the M56 here. I know obviously all the positions are going to be out anyway because of the scale we're working to, but I would just like to make it look a little bit better. So if we move Altrincham down to be almost parallel with Manchester Airport, so he wants to be, I guess, somewhere like that, because the M56 anyway does kind of bend in. So if we have another big roundabout, just a big roundabout to stand in place for limb interchange, a bit bigger than that, something, yeah, I think something like that, and then we'll come in back with the dual carriageway. It's just a main road highway from there. That's the Appleton turn off for Warrington, and then it does actually curve in as it heads up to Manchester Airport like that, and that's the Manchester Airport spur there, represented just by a roundabout, just to keep things simple, because I really don't want to be messing around with building roads. They are a bit of a faff on this. Even with the new road building tools that we have, it's still a bit of a faff. Now what we need to do is need to just readjust this station here, so try and orientate ourselves a little bit better. So we're facing north south, get the building back up again, and it wants to cross the M56 about somewhere, like try and get it in position about there. Just need to make sure, can this actually get out? It looks like it can do, but let's get the tracks in. So we want some tracks, we don't want any catenary because it's not electrified, no catenary. Just see if we can jump over the M56 here with these two tracks. Come on, just, can we do a little bunny hop over the top? Is it going to let us? No, it's not. Right, I'm not sure if it goes over or under the M56, but I'm not really going to worry worry about that too much. I was saying that station could come up a little bit, couldn't it? That would help us. It's in a little bit of a, it was going like down, so that should help us a little bit. Let's get the tracks in, the road first, because then it'll generate a bridge, hopefully, of some description. So we'll put the road back in. We'll keep it level this time, and then we'll come uphill as we approach the Manchester Airport junction, and let's see if this will let us jump over this time, which it has. Just got a bridge pillar collision, but that's not the end of the world. We can fix that by using a girder bridge of some description, something like that silver one. Yeah, I reckon the 56 must go over the railway, I think. So I don't remember ever seeing a rail bridge between Altrincham and the airport. So we'll get that hooked up, and then this bows out a little bit towards Knutsford and then curves back in as it heads towards Hertford there. So we want a reasonable speed. That's saying about 90, I think, isn't it? Which I think we will live with, and needs to come. No, we want to be going a bit faster than that. 70. Just trying to get it to point towards Hertford a bit better, but 70, I think we'll take that. Want to be coming up a bit, because again, we want to come over what is a representation of the M6. And we just do a little note. So if we come back in again with this road, push this back, and then just come in with this road, and if I press and it'll just push it down, or maybe not quite that much. We just want a little bit of a cut in just to help get this railway over the top, which should be straightforward. Down a bit. Yeah, so we'll take that for now, actually, and that's not having it. Right, let's get that in. We've got a bit of a bridge anyway, so that's a start. Get rid of this road and then just put it back in. Nope, put it back in. Going down, not so much. We don't want a tunnel, we just want a cutting of some description. All right then, maybe not. All right, so we go underneath this way. Collision, stop gliding. No, what? Right, take out those two sections there, and that's going to try and do a cutting. But this shouldn't be this hard. It's really not that difficult what I'm trying to do here. Let's do that again. Right, we've got a bridge of some description. That really was a lot harder than it needed to be, I think. And I don't want to, just want to put a node in here. It's really not letting me do it today, is it? If I push that back, because all I want to do, yes, I know there's a pillar collision. I'm not really worried about that too much. Just want a bridge of some description over what is supposed to be the M6, but it's not quite, is it? At least it's represented in the next places together. And then can I just put in a viaduct, not a viaduct, an embankment there, and then I think we will have to just realign the M56 ever so slightly. Actually, I think what I'll do is, not the M56, the M6, I will put in a bit of dual carriageway like so, and then we want a what? A wall. Let's just, so we'll go with stone grey, middle, just chuck that in there. Just make sure we're not kind of encroaching on the road too much with these. I don't think it is, looks alright. Yeah, something like that. And then just the M6 is going to have to be a little bit more curved than it probably is, but never mind. Just get that connected up to the limb interchange there. Simple. Right, so it's, yeah, hopefully it should be straightforward from here. Just a little bit of smoothing. Okie dokie, so we've done a little bit of smoothing. We've got that in place. As the crow flies, track into there. Big gouge. No, it's not a gouge. That's all right. We'll live with that. Just connect those two together. So we've got most of the Mid-Cheshire line in now, which is good. Have we got the bit connected up to Chester? No, we don't. I will leave that for now, because what I wanted to do actually was concentrate more on the northern end where it splits off. So a bit goes up towards Stockport, and then we have the other section, which is the Manchester Metro. So we'll have this bit coming up here, something like that. Actually, I think this track, or this, not the track, the station orientation, that's about, no, it's not. Let's do it again. I think the orientation was slightly off. It doesn't make, it's not the end of the world, but it just makes things look a little less better than they otherwise could be. So just something like that. Tracks, chuck them into there. It doesn't matter that it's slow. And then, because what I want is a two track, like so, going into a single track, and you'll see why in a minute. And then on this side, no, I'll do this side first actually. So this bit, this would be, the single track section here would be Navigation Road, and then it takes quite a sharp bend. Probably not as sharp as that, but it is pretty sharp as it heads towards this section about here. Is that done? That's done a thing. So let's try and delete that while we're having autosave. Okie dokie, so we've had our autosave. Now we need to get this section of track across the M56. I'm not sure if it's under or over or what, but we just want to get that into there. Going to press N just to sink that down a little bit. Hopefully that should be enough. And then we want to get this track over. Come on. Maybe if I press N. No, you're not going to let me? You're not going to let me, are you? Okay, let's just delete somewhere. That definitely looked like it should have been deep enough. Maybe if we push it down a little bit more until we've got a tunnel, that's definitely going to have it, isn't it? You'd think. Let's try that. Over. track. We do have a little bit of a, yeah, we'll take that for now and then just put this into here, and then just the shortest section of single track. It's only to represent what would be Navigation Road. And then on this side we actually do want catenary, and again this does something similar, which helps us do a little bit of a turnaround actually for the trams, and then going into double track. So as far as I'm aware, it looks like on the Open Rail map half of the track is used for Manchester Metro, and then the other side is for the main line, well not main line services, but the Mid Cheshire line services, and then this wants to kind of curve off. We are a bit close to the Manchester Central line there, but I think we will live with that. And actually, having said that, yeah, I'll keep that for now, but I might revisit that at some other stage because it is looking a bit tight round here, isn't it? I suppose I could have moved Altrincham a bit further south, but no, I will take that for now. But what I do want to do is, can I delete this? No, that's too close. Can I put a node in like so? Get rid of these two sections, replace that with embankment instead of bridge like so, and then get rid of, yeah, collision. Collision with everything, never mind. Okay, just replace this. Thinking maybe actually it should possibly be a concrete bridge, shouldn't it? But there's a bridge pillar collision, of course there is. Maybe that one instead. Just chuck that in there. Readjust the M56 again, just so it can thread a bit more nicely through here and it's not actually so deep in that cut in there that we've created. And then just get this back in it. Having to rebuild over and over again until we get all this right. But we do have another crossing to do, which is the Metro. Just want to take a quick look at that. Right, okie doke. So I'm going to have to rebuild the M56 yet again, I think. Well, as we come under here, it's the M56, and then, yeah, so we're going to build that, just a little bit of a curve, and then it does curve up here as it becomes Prince's Way or Princess Way, whichever one it is, off towards, like, Manchester a bit. It's not quite right, but yeah, a little bit of creative license, I think. All that, just chuck that in, a little bit of smoothing. In fact, I think on reflection, I want to delete most of this, because what I'm trying to do, I'll try and explain it before I kind of go off on a tangent. What I want to do is I want to have obviously the Altrincham Metro coming in towards, I think, around here, and then I want the Manchester Airport Metro as well to join up here. So I think it's Trafford Bar station around here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like rail tracks. So I'm going to have Trafford Bar station represented as a station which only wants to be, does it even want to be two tracks, 80 metres, 40 metres, 80 metres, something like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this road-going road-going trams come into it and have a bit of an interchange. It's a bit of a creative license fudge, but it just means I get to use those trams and at the same time retain the on-road running that we have with these trams, just because it's going to be a lot of work to kind of rejig all the roads in order to get the trams running on tracks, if you get what I mean. So what I need to do is, I think I want to shorten the Manchester Airport spur and straighten the M56. It's the road that's causing most of the trouble with this, just trying to get the orientation right, just to make it look a little bit better, because otherwise it could look quite hideous. So I'll keep that little bit in there. I mean, this road really isn't getting used that much anyway, but it's just there to represent it, and it sort of does help us orientate a little bit. So bring that down, keep coming towards Manchester Airport a bit more, and then we'll have a little bit of a curve like that, and then the Manchester Airport spur will have to be really short, for which we need, I mean, it doesn't have to be a roundabout again, I'm just doing this, no, not quite that big. I'm doing this instead of building junctions, which are just really don't look that attractive. This just a little, it's a cheat basically, that's what I'm doing, I'm cheating. Rather than building proper junctions, just building roundabouts. But again, traffic isn't a huge issue on this, and then this can run a little bit more straight towards Manchester. Again, the orientation is off. Again, seems to be my new go-to word instead of now. I suppose it's better, isn't it? So smooth this off like so, and then we've got to get another rail bridge in place. Like, actually keep this going in a bit of a cutting like that. Hopefully this should give us more than enough space to get over, and we'll use something. Which one of these should we use? We'll use an under truss, silver under truss. Well, it's not silver, grey under truss, and then just rebuild this road here. So we've got the, yeah, that's fine. Where's this track? Get rid of that. We might be able to make this curve a little less severe. So if that just goes into there, like so. We get a better speed into that curve, that's fine, and then a bit more smoothing, sort that ugliness out. Good, right, smooth you off, and then this road here, which is supposed to be the M56, is going to have to be a little bit more bendy than it otherwise should be, and it's going to have to stay in some sort of cutting, and then so we'll try and get 2 tracks over here. Bridge below collision, let's use the new, actually what is it? I think, what sort of bridge is it? Because it's a brand new, because it's the Manchester Airport spur is a new section of track. The actual bridge over the 56 is brand new, so I think we'll go with, I don't think it's a concrete bridge, I think it is a box girder of some description, but you'll put that into there, and then track, or have we crossed it at the right place? So we're going to have to cross it twice. What am I doing? Because I want to get that up. No, don't want that there. This is going to be tricky, I think, because I want this road connection here to be, alright, get rid of all this, yeah, get rid of you, and that, and then just drop this road a little bit. So this isn't really the M56 anymore, this is Prince's Way. Okie dokie, just one last adjustment of the road. I really shouldn't have bothered with this. This is making everything really so much more difficult than it needs to be. So get this in a cutting like that. It is, the motorway is quite vivacious around here anyway, so it's not the end of the world. It's just really seems to be a lot of hassle for not much. And then chuck this over here, still in a bit of a cutting, get rid of that station there, and then delete that, chuck that into there, and then hopefully we should be on the right track. And I know this is electrified, I do need to I'll have to sort that out. So jump over the track with some sort of bridge, an under truss in grey, like so. Good, right, now we need to figure out where the tram is going to go. Okie dokie, so I've had my third, or is this fourth play around with the M56 now, and this is where it is staying. Now, the tricky bit is where we come off with the Manchester Metro, so before I do anything, we just want to get rid of the electrification on this section here. So this mid-Cheshire line now is all done, that's fine, we don't need to worry about that. What we need now is this track here, and it needs to go underneath the, so before I do anything, vehicles, trams. So the ones going to Manchester Airport to Ashton, you're all going to have to get sold, and then the Manchester Airport to Ashton line going as well. So get rid of a bit of this, the Stockport Relief Road is it? Push this all the way back, and in fact actually get rid of all of this. Don't know why I'm bothering being selective, we don't need any of this, nor the tram depot anymore. But what we do need on Manchester Airport is another platform, so we need a platform, no, not a platform. Actually, do we want a platform? Yes we do. Platforms, so 2, 3, down there, and then blank one on the end, like so, and then an electrified, oh no, that's using third rail, isn't it? Electrified rail down there, and a little bit of platform, bit of platform on the end there, and then a bit of roof just to make it look. Actually, I'm pretty pleased with how this is looking. I know I'm only using the vanilla assets, but Manchester Airport does have quite a unique roof. If it's got like a big triangular, almost wouldn't call it a pyramid, big triangular roof anyway. It looks quite good, but that will have to take the place of that, and then yeah, that's fine. Just one platform, I think. I'm not sure if it has 2, but what I need to do now is curve this out, so it wants to become 2 tracks. It is going to have to look a little bit weird, he says. It's all going to be a little bit exaggerated. So basically what does, the route seems to almost double back on itself as it heads towards Wythenshawe, so it kind of doubles back on itself. Bit maybe not quite as exaggerated as this, but it does a little bit. And no, it wants to be 2 tracks. Come on, why are you making that so difficult? So yeah, it is all a little bit exaggerated, this, unfortunately, but that's how it's going to have to be. And then it wants to go over absolutely everything, but it can't. Well, it's not even letting me go over the M56. We're going to have to come from here then and start going uphill further back. Don't know if I'm entirely happy with this, if I'm honest. It does look like a bit of a fudge, but I think we'll just have to live with it to achieve what I want to achieve. What we'll use, concrete bridge, because it's new, and it does go over the mid-Cheshire line like that. Well, not like that, but it does go over the mid-Cheshire line, then we need to start coming down again. It's going to be pretty slow, but they're only trams anyway, so they're not particularly fast. Yeah, it looks a bit rubbish, doesn't it, if I'm honest? If I'm being completely honest, that does look pants. So we'll keep the roads where they are. I think the problem is going to be just the tightness of the curves that we're trying to achieve is just not possibly achievable. But yeah, it goes through Wythenshawe, and then maybe that doesn't actually need to be quite so severe. So what I'm going to do is we want a nice straight bridge, nice straight section of track, just so it doesn't look all curvy and rubbish. Using a modern, I know it's not concrete, pretty sure about that, but but I don't know what type of bridge it is. Is it a truss girder? 2, 3, 4. Get that over. Get that over the M56 anyway. With that. Connect all that together. That little bit in there, and then it's not angle. Try it again. One more time. This is a lot trickier than I anticipated. I think that needs to come up a little bit more. Maybe coming down on the other end. Gonna have to be on a little bit of a strange angle in order to get this to work properly, and then just chuck that bridge pillar collision. Right, okay, chuck that onto there. Okay, and then over there, collision. There is no collision. Oh, why are you trying to put a pillar there? Why is this being so difficult? Okie dokie, we'll use pillarless concrete one. That's gonna, actually I think that might be a little bit more accurate. Why are you going down? Come on. Right, up. This bridge, which one are we using? This one here. Yeah, I think that's probably more accurate, possibly. Over there, and then into that. Now, we are heading away from Manchester, which isn't ideal, but is that going across? It is. Can I go down a little bit more? Can. Good. Can I get rid of this bit of track here? We're going to have a curved... That looks rubbish. Not going to have to have anything. Curve that in, up as much as you can, round to there, across the mid-Cheshire line. Have we overcooked it a bit there? Possibly. And then we'll use this pillarless bridge again, because the span isn't that bad actually, is it? And then I think if we start to curve and come down as we come towards the station, which wants to be around here somewhere, so still up in the air a little bit. We want to be, actually that maybe not so dramatic on the curve as we head up towards this line here. It's all starting to make a little bit of sense now. It does look like an unholy mess at the minute, but it will hopefully make some sort of sense. And then if we bring these tracks in, we want a junction which doesn't look like that. All that's going to have to be fixed at some stage, but I just want to get the track in for now. And then up to there, we will just have it on an embankment, and I will really do a lot of work with the smoothing. But you can see why it's been so tricky now, can't you? Because of the way everything's kind of shoehorned in. You've got the motorways, you've got all the existing lines and whatnot, and this can actually run a little bit more straight, I think, on an embankment, and then we'll curve it in onto this here. Again, not worrying too much about the speeds because they are only trams, but then this wants to, I think, run a little bit straighter just to make our lives a little bit easier, and it's going to have to be on the level as well. And then we'll just come in with a little station like that. Actually no, little tiny bit more track, something like that on the level, and then will that let us put in a diamond crossing. Now what I could have actually used the slab track for this, couldn't I? That would have been a bit more accurate. What too much, shouldn't be on a slope at all. Potentially the slab track might have been more accurate. I might be able to grade that actually. I'll give that a go. I just want to get this little tiniest bit of track in, and then a diamond crossing on top just for the trams to turn around and head back. Good. And then we'll just chuck this station on here, and we'll just have a bit of an interchange here. I know it's not accurate at all, but we'll have an interchange so people can get off the rail onto the road trams, if you get what I mean. And then what I want is, I know the slab track is for HS2 and HS3, but I'm pretty sure it's more accurate, or what we're trying to do. So we'll use the slab track old to differentiate it. Version 2, I don't know what the difference is. And then we want to upgrade this like so. I think definitely going in towards, actually having said that, I'm pretty sure it's ballasted, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. And then we'll have this little bit here, and then we'll just leave a bit, because it does start to use the existing rails, or the existing rails were converted from basically heavy rail to tram usage. So it's all a little bit messy, but I think we do need to get rid of the grass in between the slabs. But yeah, I think that looks a little bit better, and it allows us to use, more importantly, the M5000 trams. So this is Metro, just call it Manchester Airport, yeah, Manchester, keep it nice and simple. And then this is Metro Altrincham, not sure what the code is, I will figure that out at some stage. And then there is actually, I think there is a depot around here as well, isn't there? Which, no, we want that, so I'll just chuck in a little bit of track, make that look, actually having said that, this is a lot more forgiving in terms of the junctions, so I'll chuck that on there, and we'll just have a depot as we have another auto save. Right, so just quickly chuck that on, tag that onto, come on, well, I'm not pressing page up, that's why, and it's facing the wrong way, just snap onto there. Because what I wanted to do before I finish this episode was get an actual tram on it. So it's an electrical multiple unit, isn't it? And we will chuck, let's put 4 cars. They normally worked in 4 cars, and I think we're going to need 4 in total, but you're going to go on Altrincham and you're going to go on Manchester Airport. Let's just adjust the colour of that so that can be a bright yellow and that can be more of a banana yellow, just to differentiate it. Can't imagine that this is going to get heavily used. It might get used a little bit. You might get people doing interchanges between the mid-Cheshire line over towards the airport, and obviously I do have to put the interchange in here, or this one from Furswood is going to come over a little bit elongated as it heads into Manchester. But yeah, it just gives an opportunity. All I wanted to do was use these trams, basically. That's what all this effort was about. Just, it would have been sad if I'd finished this series without actually using those trams, because they are rather good. It's just a shame that I'd already kind of built a lot of Manchester, and I really don't want to be rebuilding it now at this late stage in the series, but I did want to play with them, and I think 2 is probably overcooking it a little bit, isn't it? I think even 2 is going to be a pretty quick frequency. Yeah, get rid of them. We'll just have them rattling back and forwards between there. Yeah, it's not great, but it will suffice. I think I just want to make this curve a little bit better. I know I've broken it, because it does head off. So what we're using here, we're going to be using just standard. Where's the standard track? That one. We will keep it high speed, but I want it to be on the same level as that. So if I snap it to there, that's probably better, isn't it? And then we'll just have a nice gentle curve sandwiched in between those 2 lines there. You know, shouldn't be that close at all in real life, but I think that's as good as we're going to get it. And actually, just before I finish, I'm not sure what sort of signalling you'd have on a tram network. We'll just have a double aspect one way, and obviously we need one on here and there, and I think we'll just have one leading into the station as well. I can't imagine we're going to have any more than 1 tram on any of these given networks, but obviously we need a signal here, don't we, for this tight curve, and I think we'll have just one on the exit of the station there, like that, and we've got our trams rattling back and forwards. And yeah, I'm not completely happy. I think I could do this corner a little bit better, but I think for now, and I've got to rebuild the Stockport, the relief road as well, which hops over the tram there on a newish, well, it is newish, it's almost brand new structure. So we'll go with concrete and then get that hooked up to there, just on a viaduct. I think we don't need any bridges. Good, so that's all in place. It did take a bit of effort, that, didn't it? But we've got all of these railroads in place. I just need to finish off the mid-Cheshire line into Chester, but the branch is already there, so that's all fine. That's no issue. That's all fine. So what I think I'll do is I will make this terrain look a little bit nicer and then leave you with a tram ride, I guess. I know it's not particularly far, but it is the tram that we wanted to focus on. That looks all right. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to leave it there anyway and say until next time. Bye bye.